On the podcast today, we'll be looking at the concept of the compounding effects of being consistent and how it can multiply our efforts in whatever we do. Inspiration for this comes from the Self-Improvement Daily podcast by Brian Ford. Welcome to Health for the Spirit, Soul and Body podcast, where we teach simple concepts and practical ideas we can apply to our whole being to keep us in good health. Before we go on, please support us by taking a few seconds to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more messages. Now let's get into today's podcast. What is consistency? Consistency can be regarded as the fact of staying the same, doing the same thing, or being constant even though circumstances or situations may change. Now, it's important for us to differentiate or compare it to persistence, which is similar but slightly different. Persistence allows someone, or that quality that allows someone to continue doing something even though it is difficult or opposed by other people. And with persistence, you continue doing it and you persist in it until you get the result you are vying for. Now, let's look at one story in the Bible which will help us see the concept of consistency. And it also illustrates persistence. Luke chapter 18, verses 2 to 5. I'm reading from King James Version, saying, "There was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while. But afterward he said within himself, Though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest her continual coming, by continual coming, she weary me." Now, this is an illustration of what consistency can be and persistence. The widow kept going to the judge, even though she did not see any result from what she was doing. Now let's look at this concept by looking at the analogy of pumping water from a well with a hand pump. Not many of us are used to a hand pump as illustrated in this short video, but I have had experience with it, and this has made me to greatly understand this concept. Now, for a hand pump, when it's not in use, it's a pipe that goes down into the depth of a well. I had the opportunity of using this when I worked at one of the military hospitals as a civilian doctor. And the way this pump works is that initially, when you start pumping, it takes air from the bottom of the well up and out through the tap. And then when the air is all pumped out from the pipe, as it's taking the air out, it pumps water up or sucks water with it. And so this concept, it is important that the first several pumps you do, just air will come. It will seem as if nothing is happening. After a while, a few drops of water starts coming. Now, if you stop at that time, it will stop and develop air again. If you don't continue, if you start, it will begin to give you pure air. But at the end of it, if you continue non-stop, it then water begins to flow. But at the time water flows, the effort used is much less. And so let's look at this concept in three parts. This concept shows that compounding effect I was discussing. The first part of it is that at the starting point of whatever you are doing, no matter what it is, be consistent even when there seems to be no return. Like in this pump illustration, you are pumping, but nothing seems to be coming. Now, if you stop at that time or give up, then you will never get the water. But whatever you are doing, whatever vision God has given you, whatever goal you have in life, as you start off, keep pumping, keep going day after day. So long as you believe in what you are doing, don't stop. There will be a next stage where it just starts, but only a few drops come out. Most of what will come will be air with a few drops. Now, if you stop at that time, it will develop air again, and even if you start again, it will not continue. And so, even though a little result is coming from what you are doing, remain consistent, keep on going, because the initial effort you have put has started the drops of water. And for the third stage, if you continue pumping, the water will start to flow. At that point, if you've used this kind of pump before, you will see that you require much less effort and the water will flow continuously as if it's an electrical pump or a pump that is bringing a lot of water with little effort. Again, you need to keep pumping, because as soon as you stop, the water will stop flowing. And so this gives us that lesson that we should continue in what we are doing. And now let's quickly look at two scriptures that will help us. Let's look at two scriptures that will help us illustrate it. One is 1 Corinthians 15:58. It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." And so let's be steadfast. Whatever work we are doing, whatever vision we have, whatever we are doing for the Lord, let us keep going. Let us, the Bible promises us that our labor is not in vain. And so let's keep on doing that work without fainting. Another one is Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." And so as we remain consistent in that thing that we are doing, if we do not stop, we will reap the results of our good work. And so consistency, when we layer it upon each one another, as you layer it, being consistent brings a result which will be multiplied and compounded because we continued without stopping. And so I'll encourage us to multiply whatever efforts we are doing by remaining consistent in whatever we do. If you gained something from this teaching, don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, and share with others. Thank you.